Hi, this is Amanda with Music Game Club, and I am so excited to give you our first sneak peek of boom cards that are going to be launched on January 1st, 2024. So I'm showing you a ton of boom cards. We have 4 Flamingo Flats boom cards, 4 Shrimp Sharps boom cards, 6 Icy Intervals boom cards, and then I will wrap up with our 2 free boom cards that you can get right now. So here is deck 1 of Flamingo Flats, and for this one, the question is, how many flats are in this musical excerpt? And for this one, they are going to identify, based off of the notes, how many flats are played. So you have B flat and E flat in the key signature. So this one happens to be 2. They would click the answer. But this one, even though there's only 1 flat in the key signature, in the musical excerpt, there's 1, 2, 3 flats. And this is how Flamingo Flats deck 1 is. Flamingo Flats deck 2 is really good with note naming. So for this one, they have to name all the notes that are in the musical excerpt. And when they reach the flats, they could just do a lowercase b. So you have to type in all of the answers and then click submit. And if you got any one wrong, it would let you know that you got it wrong and you have to try again. So for this one, I'm going to try just typing in regular B instead of B flat. And they notify that it's wrong. So you have to go back in and make it flat, and then it's correct. Flamingo Flats deck 3. What notes will be flat? Now this is based off of the key signature, and the students have to select which ones total. So here you have a B flat, E flat, and A flat. This will help your students to not only know what the key signature is, it doesn't do them any good to know that this is the key of E flat if they don't realize they have to play B flat, E flat, and A flat in the key signature. So this is Flamingo Flats deck 3. Flamingo Flats deck 4 is, what is the key signature? Now the musical excerpts are both major and minor, so the answers are either major or minor. So here you see that the only options given are minor. This is E flat major, but you can teach your students you've got to go down a minor third to make it minor. So if it looks like it's E flat major, but you don't have any major options there, you have to select the minor one. Or the students who can look at the notes and observe what actual key is this based off of the notes, and then you select your answer. They're mostly major in here, but there are some minor. The Shrimp Sharps decks are very similar to the Flats decks. It's just that it's focusing on sharps instead of flats. So this Shrimp Sharps deck 1 is how many sharps are in this musical excerpt. So again, not based off of the key signature, but based off of the notes that are played, we see 1, 2, 3 notes that are affected by the key signature, so that is the correct answer. Shrimp Sharps deck 2, again, is naming the notes, and you have to be sure to get your sharp, which, yes, you can use the number sign for this, and that is how you play the Shrimp Sharps deck 3. All right, again, Shrimp Sharps, what notes are sharp? And so this is based off of the key signature. It's the key of G, but you have F sharp. This one, again, is key of G, so you have F sharp. And these move around, so they can't just tap the same thing and be correct. And then once again, what is this key signature? But it's sharps instead of flats. Same thing as with Flamingo Flats. It's either major or minor. So this one is the key of D major. And this one has 3 sharps, so it's the key of A major. And then if there are minor options, they only have the minor answers. Moving on to Icy Intervals, which is our December 2023 game. We have 6 of these decks, and it's because there are 2 different types of gameplays and 3 decks each, 1 in C position, 1 in G position, and 1 in various positions. So this is our C position, deck 1, and it's drag the interval to the correct answer. So the only intervals they're going to see are in C position. So you drag it to the correct answer, click submit. Treble and bass clef, C position. The exact same gameplay, but in G position, you're going to drag it and click. And then the exact same gameplay, but this is in various positions across bass clef and treble clef. You can drag it to the correct answer, click submit. And that is the first 3 Icy Intervals boom cards. The other 3 Icy Interval boom cards is really good with note naming. So this, they have to pay attention because there's a question, what is the top note or what is the bottom note? So this is asking for the top note of this interval, and they have to tap the correct answer. So the top note in this is D. Top note in this is E. Now the bottom note is always going to be C because these are in C position, but it gives your students a good practice in reading other notes. This is the same gameplay in G position. So all the bottom notes will be G, but the top notes will differ according to what notes are given. And then this is the really good one for note reading because it covers various positions and the student has to pay really close attention to the bottom note or the top note. So the bottom note of this interval is a D. And then the top note of this interval, switched to bass clef, so they have to pay attention to that, is also D. And that is our Icy Intervals cards. If you have not gotten it already, we have 2 free decks that you can get reviewing intervals 2nd through 5th. And this is the first deck that we have of interval icebergs. And what you do is you just tap the correct answer. What is this? It's a 2nd. What is this one? It's a 2nd. And so on and so forth. And then this one is our 2nd free deck. It's Iceberg Intervals Deck 2. And you drag all of the intervals to the correct answer before you click submit. So these are different ways to review your intervals. I hope you've enjoyed this sneak peek of our upcoming boom cards. Stay tuned because we've got a lot more exciting things coming your way.